First and second law already discussed. Now it is the discussion regarding the third law of thermodynamics. First of all, why we need these laws and why we are going to define them. It is only to understand whether a process it is going to complete or whether a process it is self-occurring or whether it is reversible or irreversible in nature. Our main point is the criteria of spontaneity of the process. We want to know whether a process is occurring will go to the completion or it will not go to the completion. First law describes the equivalence between the different type of the energies, but that lacks the sign in which the energy will flow. It says that water can flow from the higher portion to the lower one. That's okay. That is feasible. But everybody of us knows that water doesn't flow from the lower to the upper by its own until unless it is aided by some external agency. Another thing is there is not complete equivalence between the heat and the work. First law says that the heat supplied to the system is utilized in doing some work and in changing the internal energy. It is found that whenever heat is supplied to the system, as shown by the Carnot cycle, it is not being completely transferred into the work. But on the other hand, work can be converted into the heat. So there is not a complete equivalence. That is why we needed the second law. The second law, all it is based on the entropy. It says any irreversible process if there, then that is accompanied by the increase in the entropy. If water is there, then first law doesn't predict that it can be changed from the liquid state to the vapor state. What second law says that it can be easily changed from the liquid state to the vapor state by the continuous aid of the energy. What this system is going from the more order to the less order, or entropy is already less and entropy is going to increase. What all these discussions are baseless because S cannot be calculated by any simple method. We need some special measurements to measure the entropy of the system. एंट्रोपी डिफाइन तो की उसने सेकेंड लॉ में, लेकिन एंट्रोपी को मेजर करने का कोई तरीका नहीं था. तो एंट्रोपी को मेजर जो वो थर्ड लॉ की हेल्प से जो है वो एंट्रोपी मेजर की जा सकती है. इट मीन्स ऑल लॉज आर इंटरलिंक्ड विद ईच अदर. वन इज इनकम्प्लीट, सेकेंड इज गोइंग टू join the hand. If second is incomplete, third is going to join the hand. It is obvious from the picture that as the temperature it is going to absolute zero, Cp specific heat and the entropy they are also tending to zero. So both these they are approaching to zero. That is all about the third law, base of the third law of the thermodynamics. Let us discuss from where this idea comes. The idea comes from the Nernst heat theorem. What is this Nernst heat theorem? We know this gives Helmholtz equation. It is found by a scientist, name is not clear, that while he was decreasing the temperature, delta Z was also decreasing. Means there was a decrease in the delta Z when temperature was decreased. So he found as the gradually temperature decreases, delta Z also decreases. Then he formulated one equation that limiting T tends to absolute zero, change in the free energy is also tending equal to zero. That generalization says that in this equation as the temperature it is becoming equal to 0, that part it is equal to 0. So means we are left with the delta Z that is equal to delta H, because as the T approaches 0, curly delta G upon curly T approaches to 0. If delta Z approaches to delta H, it is found also in many reactions where the graphs were extrapolated to the 0 value. It is found that as temperature is gradually decreased, then delta Z and delta H, they converge towards each other, and asymptotically they are reaching toward the equality, or they are delta G is becoming equal to the delta H. Since delta G is equal to delta H, so at this place we can fill the delta H also. So if we fill the delta H, then limiting T tends to 0, it is curly delta H upon curly T, it is also equal to 0. But each of us knows that curly delta Z upon curly T, it tends to 0. It means that is equal to delta C, not delta Cp. It will be another term when it is delta H upon curly delta H upon curly T tends to equal to 0. Then this terms it is equal to Cp, and the above term, that one curly delta G upon curly T, that is equal to minus delta S. So both these predictions, they are predicting that change in delta S is equal to 0 और change in delta Cp that is equal to 0. जो ऊपर वाला रिलेशन है वो डेल्टा एस को कोरोस्पोंड करता है, और नीचे वाला रिलेशन जो वो डेल्टा Cp को कोरोस्पोंड करता है. ऐसा कब हो सकता है कि चेंज इन स्पेसिफिक हीट इक्वल टू 0 हो? इट मीन्स कि प्रोडक्ट और रिएक्टेंट और स्टेट 1 स्टेट 2 both are having the same specific heat, both are having the same entropy. तो कभी भी दो स्टेट की एंट्रोपी इक्वल तो हो नहीं सकती है. वी कांट से एंट्रोपी एट द टेम्परेचर 20 इज इक्वल टू एंट्रोपी एट द टेम्परेचर 30. देयर विल बी ए डिफरेंस. ओनली इन वन केस दे कैन बी इक्वल, इफ बोथ टेंड्स इक्वल टू 0. यानी डेल्टा Cp का मतलब है Cp ऑफ फर्स्ट स्टेट, Cp ऑफ सेकंड स्टेट, that is equal to each other, so that delta Cp is equal to 0. What that can only happen when Cp tends to equal to 0, because at two states it doesn't have the equal value. So as temperature is tending to 0, the specific heat is tending to 0, and the entropy is also tending to 0. So that's generalization says limit T tends to 0, Cp is equal to 0, as well as limit T tends to 0, S is equal to 0. S का मतलब क्या हुआ? एंट्रोपी. एंट्रोपी जो है वो कितनी हो जा रही है? 0 हो जा रही है. 0 मीन्स इट इज ए परफेक्ट ऑर्डर. एंट्रोपी मीन्स ए डिसऑर्डर. So he wants to say that as the temperature is decreased, all types of motions inside the material, they will cease. But I am saying entropy means disorder. Entropy is equal to 0. This means to say that all motions inside the material, they are tending equal to 0. सारी की सारी मोशंस सीज हो जाएंगी. तो उस वक्त जो है वो मटेरियल में एक परफेक्ट ऑर्डर होगा, एंड वी कैन से दैट एंट्रोपी ऑफ द पर्टिकुलर कंपोनेंट इज इक्वल टू 0. वेयर इट कैन हैपन, अगर डायटोमिक मॉलिक्यूल है तो उसमें भी परफेक्ट ऑर्डर नहीं हो सकता है. आगे हम डिस्कस करेंगे इसको कि परफेक्ट ऑर्डर क्यों नहीं होगा. अगर मोनोएटॉमिक सॉलिड है तो उसमें परफेक्ट ऑर्डर पॉसिबल है. सपोज वी आर हैविंग ए स्फीयर, then it is symmetrical in nature. You know a collection of the sphere that will look like alike. तो एक उसमें परफेक्ट ऑर्डर है, वो एक ही तरह का नजर आएगा. वी कैन से एंट्रोपी इज इक्वल टू 0. उसको क्या बोला जा सकता है? परफेक्ट ऑर्डर जो है वो बोला जा सकता है. ही ऑल्सो पुट्स ए लाइन देयर दैट एंट्रोपी ऑफ परफेक्टली क्रिस्टलाइन मटीरियल, बट मीन्स दैट परफेक्टली क्रिस्टलाइन का वो बोल रहा है कि अगर उसमें ऑलरेडी डिफेक्ट्स होंगे, आपको मालूम है कि जो सॉलिड होता है उसमें फ्रेंकल डिफेक्ट या शॉर्टकी डिफेक्ट या और तरह के बहुत सारे नॉन स्टोक्योमेट्रिक डिफेक्ट्स जो है वो पॉसिबल है. अगर कंपाउंड जो है वो परफेक्टली क्रिस्टलाइन नहीं है, दैट कंटेन्स द डिफेक्ट्स, दैट मीन्स ए डिसऑर्डर. सो ही हैज प्लेस्ड द वर्ड एंट्रोपी ऑफ ऑल perfectly crystalline monatomic solids tends to 0 at 0 Kelvin. He is not mentioning about the gases, he is not mentioning about the liquids. Reason being, जब absolute 0 होगी तो उस पे सारे ही मटेरियल जो वो solid state में होंगे. So that is why he has said that entropy of all perfectly crystalline monatomic solids that tends to 0 at 0 Kelvin. That is the third law, and it is the only theoretical justification for the third law of the thermodynamics. All the laws which we have read, whether first, second or third, all are theoretically justified, not experimentally, because we are reading the equilibrium thermodynamics, and equilibrium thermodynamics, it is only a approach toward the real world. Real world differs much more because that is mostly irreversible one. We know from the second law that ds is equal to q reversible upon t. So in the next case here, it is Cp that is equal to dH upon dt. It is the specific heat. Q reversible, heat supplied to the system at constant pressure, it is equal to delta H or dH. So substitute this value here. Cp becomes equal to Q reversible upon dt, or Q reversible, it becomes Cp into dt. Replacing this value in the ds, ds is equal to Q reversible upon t. तो यहां पर जो Cp dt जो है वो प्लेस कर दिया. Now let us integrate within the limits. It is 0 to s ds Cp dt upon t. तो यहां पर जो इसका इंटीग्रल जो s आएगा, s at particular temperature minus s0, that is equal to integral Cp dt upon t. Since Cp is dependent upon t, तो इनको जो Cp को बाहर नहीं लिखा जा सकता है और इसको जो डायरेक्टली इंटीग्रेट नहीं कर सकते हैं. So we have to plot Cp versus T so that we can calculate the area under the curve, and that will give the value of the integral. So we use here third law of thermodynamics, that at 0 temperature or 0 Kelvin, S0 that is equal to 0. So St, entropy at particular temperature, it is a direct integral of this factor. It is Cp dt upon t. It is a direct integral of this factor Cp dt upon t. Let us see further here. It is plot of Cp versus dl and t here. This plot that shows the variation of dln t. तो dt अपॉन टी को dln t लिखा जा सकता है. तो Cp और टेम्परेचर के बीच में जो है ये, ln t के बीच में जो है ये ग्राफ है. ये ग्राफ जो है पहले स्टीप इस तरीके से इंक्रीज कर रहा है, मीन्स इट इज मोर लीनिंग टुवर्ड द टेम्परेचर, लेस लीनिंग टुवर्ड द Cp. Then further it increases and then it becomes the constant. So St here, it is splitted into two parts. ये जो इंटीग्रल है इसको दो पार्ट में डिवाइड कर दिया है. एक पार्ट 0 से लेके 15 केल्विन तक है और दूसरा 15 केल्विन से लेके पर्टिकुलर टेम्परेचर तक है, जिस टेम्परेचर पे एंट्रोपी निकालनी है. 0 से 15 केल्विन तक जो है वो स्पेसिफिक हीट डिवाई टी क्यूब लॉ के ऊपर डिपेंड करती है। किसके ऊपर डिपेंड करती है? डिवाई टी क्यूब लॉ। इट इज सीपी दैट इज इक्वल टू ए टी क्यूब. So that value can be substituted here, and the first part it can be evaluated, and next part it is from 15 Kelvin to the particular temperature Cp dt upon T. So the graph between Cp and ln T, that gives the area under the curve, and that value can be substituted. So absolute entropy can be calculated from here. This is merely a simplification, but it is much more you can say calculative in the another sense. Here I have split it in a many ways. First of all, let us understand first of all the graph which is here. This graph is between the entropy and the temperature. तो एंट्रोपी जो है वो 0 केल्विन से लेके मेल्टिंग पॉइंट तक जो वो कंटिन्यूसली इंक्रीज हो रही है। उसके बाद जैसे ही मेल्टिंग पॉइंट आएगा, मेल्टिंग पॉइंट पे फिक्स टेम्परेचर पे फिर एंट्रोपी जो वो इंक्रीज हो रही है। देयर इज ए रेगुलर इंक्रीज इन एंट्रोपी। अर्लियर इट इज लीनिंग टुवर्ड द टेम्परेचर, देन इट इज फिक्स्ड एट द टेम्परेचर इज फिक्स्ड बट एंट्रोपी इज इंक्रीजिंग। तो ये जो पोर्शन है मेल्टिंग पॉइंट वाला, इसमें भी एंट्रोपी जो वो इंक्रीज हो रही है, लेकिन सीपी को जब आप ln T के अगेंस्ट इंटीग्रेट करते हो तो ये वाला पोर्शन वो शो नहीं करता है। तो इस पोर्शन के लिए जो वो एक्स्ट्रा फैक्टर जो वो इंक्लूड करना पड़ेगा, एंड दैट एक्स्ट्रा फैक्टर इज डायरेक्टली Q अपॉन T. Q इज इक्वल टू डेल्टा H ऑफ फ्यूजन डिवाइडेड बाय टेम्परेचर ऑफ फ्यूजन. So here from 0 to 15 Kelvin, that is the divide T cube law part, then 15 Kelvin to the melting point, that is by area under the curve. Then this linear part, it is evaluated by delta H upon TF. Further from melting point to the boiling point, again there is a lean of this entropy toward the temperature, so that can be evaluated with the help of the integral. After that, when it start boiling, that part doesn't comes under Cp dt upon T, because at fixed temperature there is a continuous increase in the entropy. So that is again calculated directly by Q upon T, that is delta H evaporation upon the boiling point. Then further again there is a lean of entropy toward the temperature, so it is from boiling point to particular temperature, again area under the curve that will give the value of the entropy. So entropy relation is not merely Cp dt, it is much more lengthier than the simple discussion, because it includes the leaning part toward the temperature as well as temperature independent part. Temperature independent part, they are having different calculative way, and leaning toward the temperature, that is having different calculative way. In addition to this, if any component is having the change of the allotropic form from one allotropic form to the another allotropic form, again there is a increase in entropy. So we have to include a extra factor here, and that extra factor is the delta H transition divided by temperature of the transition. So all these factors, they include or totally conclude whatever the value of the total entropy is there. So by this way total value of the entropy can be calculated. We are also having a concept of the residual entropy. What means the residual entropy? थर्ड लॉ ने ये प्रेडिक्ट कर दिया कि जैसे ही टेम्परेचर 0 होगा तो 0 होने पे जो है वो एंट्रोपी 0 हो जानी चाहिए, बिकॉज ऑल मोशंस दे आर डाइंग आउट एट 0 केल्विन. बट a theoretical justification say if it is not a monatomic solid, then some type of disorder also occurs at the 0 Kelvin. If you clearly check here, it is CO, CO, again CO, again CO, but the here orientation is different, it is OC. है तो ये एक ऑर्डर्ड स्टेट है, लेकिन फिर भी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के हिसाब से यहां पर क्या है, थोड़ा सा डिसऑर्डर हो गया. यहां पर क्या है, थोड़ा सा फिर डिसऑर्डर हो गया, बिकॉज इट इज नॉट CO, it is OC. So this type of disorder may occur at the 0 Kelvin. So how much entropy is left at the 0 Kelvin also, that is known as the residual entropy. It can be calculated with the help of this relation. It is S is equal to K ln W. K is Boltzmann constant, S is entropy, and W is the thermodynamic probability. Or it is a thermodynamic distribution. What is this thermodynamic distribution or probability? We are having the case of CO here. So there exist two orientation, either CO or OC. These are the possible orientation for the carbon monoxide. So the probable orientations are two for the one molecule. For Avogadro number of molecule, these orientations will be 2 raised to power n, where n is the Avogadro number. Substitute this value here, S is equal to K ln, it is 2 raised to power n. N comes here, K into n, it becomes equal to R, and log ln is equal to 2.303, so log 2. When you substitute all these values, it is 2.303, that is the value of R, that is the value of log 2. We get the value of 5.76 joule per Kelvin per mole. These values are having in agreement with the experimentally measured values. So this means that a compound may have residual entropy even at the 0 Kelvin. Remember by the point that when temperature ceases to 0, then all motion tends equal to 0. But some entropy is left because maximum motion sees out. Instead, it is the vibrational motion that even present at the 0 Kelvin. So, when perfect order is there, then that order is said to be S equal to 0. So that forms the basis for the third law of thermodynamics and residual entropy. Remaining portion we will discuss in the next lecture.